Welcome everyone. A couple months ago, we released the first of our many videos showcasing the prototype of the MailDirect's DSI module for B11. There continues to be a lot of confusion around the B11 criterion and what exactly do the EHRs need to do to meet those requirements. Our prototype really helped us establish a baseline based on which we could have discussions with our EHR partners as well as their end users how a solution like this could be integrated with an EHR and implemented without disrupting the current workflows. It also provided us an opportunity to work with the certifying bodies to get clarifications on many of the requirements to make sure that we were meeting the intent of the regulation. We will be doing a number of videos to showcase how we have finally implemented the solution and how it will be available as a plug and play solution for any EHR to implement it. But in today's video, I wanted to focus on a very specific component of the solution. We received a lot of feedback on all the different components, especially during our usability testing. But the one component that we received the most feedback on was the actual feedback. I'm talking about the feedback on the feedback. As many of you might be already aware, capturing the feedback on the DSI alerts was highlighted by ONC as one of the 9 key feature requirements of the B11 criterion. And that's what I want to show today is like how we have implemented a comprehensive feedback system within our MailDirect's DSI module. So let's go jump in and see it in a demo. Okay, so I'm on the patient screen of the MailDirect's app and I'm going to go ahead and log into a patient chart. So I'm in the patient chart of the MailDirect's app. Obviously, this particular screen will be different in every EHR depending on how they show the patient chart. It will obviously show the different data. We are not focused on the data right now. We are really focused on this tab called Alerts tab. This is where the different alerts generated from the DSI modules will be shown. Obviously, you can see right now that there are no particular alerts showing in here. That's because I have not activated any DSI modules. So what I'm going to do is, in order to activate those, I'm going to go back to my workspace app and I'm going to go ahead and activate some different DSI modules. Before I do that, I want to just show you this particular tab in there, the CDS feedback. This is the tab that we will come back to analyze the feedback as the alerts are responded to by users on the patient chart. For now, let's go ahead and first activate some DSI modules. The way we do that in MailDirect's is we go through a tab called extensions. Extensions is a term that we have used to basically refer to the different kinds of DSI apps, whether predictive or evidence-based, whether they are launched as EHR launch or CDS hooks, how we can bring all of those apps and concepts into a common concept that can basically be then used to generate the alerts that are shown at the patient chart. So what I'm going to go ahead and do in here is I'm going to go ahead and start activating some extensions. When I click on activate the extension, it will give me the option to browse from a list of publicly available, published extensions or extensions from my organization. We covered some of these components in our previous videos where we showed how a CQL library could be used to activate extensions within organization. We will be covering a lot more of this in the coming videos, how we have finalized this architecture. For now, I'm just going to use a couple of demo apps that we will activate as extensions in my workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. This will bring me to a screen where I can search for the extensions. Right now, I just have 2 extensions that are available to me. One of them is a predictive extension. One of them is an evidence-based extension. I can actually view on those extensions to see the details of those extensions, including the source attributes that have been published and made available by the developer of that particular extension. What I can also do from here is I can go ahead and select that extension and then activate it for my workspace. I'm going to go ahead and activate both these extensions so that we have some different kinds of alerts that we can actually see. With those 2 extensions activated, I can now go back to my patient chart. I could launch this patient chart from the list itself, but I can also just do a refresh in here. And when I do a refresh in here, you'll see that now I'm seeing different kinds of alerts on my patient chart. These are the alerts that are being generated based on the extensions that I had activated. In this case, those extensions are all CDS hook extensions, so they are basically generating some CDS hooks cards. Again, the actual method of what is creating the alerts and the logic behind is not important. We are really going to focus on the feedback component in here. What you can see is, if I can just kind of drill down into a couple of the alerts in here, I have an alert in here which is basically recommending me that based on the patient's conditions, I should add a daily BP monitoring task for this particular patient. So what I can do is I can go ahead and accept that suggestion and click on it. And after I've clicked on it, that basically alert that has disappeared and that task has been created in the patient chart. This is basically a file resource that is provisioned and then added to that particular patient chart. On the other hand side, I have another recommendation here that is more of an informational, but what it is telling me is that there is a particular drug in this patient chart that can be replaced by a generic drug. Now, I could actually, again, depending on the level of integration, do that from here, change it, but I could also provide some feedback on it, whether it is free text feedback or basically a very specific feedback that has been made available to me by the service, like a reason of that generic drug is out of stock. So I just don't have it available. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm actually going to select that particular reason. I can provide more context to it, but since this is already enough reason that I want to capture it in there, I'm just going to go ahead and click submit. Once that feedback is captured, I'm going to go back to my workspace and I'm going to go to that CDS feedback table that I was looking at before. And you will see that I have a couple of feedbacks that have been captured from the actions that I was doing. And the first thing I want us to focus on here is the actual feedback and how we are capturing it. So this is basically telling it that whether that particular alert was overridden or whether it was accepted. And I can actually go and see exactly the kind of alert that was shown to the particular user. Again, the whole idea behind this is that as the alerts will be generated and acted on, we need to provide a very easy feedback mechanism for the organization to evaluate the impact of those alerts and how many of them are being overridden versus accepted. This will give the organization a very simple way to manage those alerts better. With all the advancements happening in AI, the DSI features in EHR hold tremendous potential to impact all aspects of patient care. However, as we have seen with the traditional CDS, this can also very quickly lead to alert fatigues. Therefore, it is crucial to have a good feedback system in place. This will help organizations get great insights into how the alerts are working so that they can optimize the alerts instead of overwhelming the users. I'm excited to share that we are getting ready to release our first official version of the MailDirect's DSI. It will be available as a plug-and-play solution for EHRs to integrate it with their system and meet the V11 criterion. We are also working with a number of app developers to bring their apps as suppliers into our system. If you are an EHR or an app developer, we would love to talk to you. Please contact us. We'll also be doing multiple videos on some of the other features in the coming days. So please subscribe to the channel and stay connected. Thank you so much for watching.